Tucker Carlson needs a Snickers. He got real grumpy when someone corrected him based on how incorrectly he was saying Kamala Harris's name. Now, this was during one of his recent episodes. He had a guest on named Richard Goodstein. And without further ado, let's hear what they were talking about, and let's hear the meltdown.
But what makes Kamala Harris a remarkable figure is that in the face of changing evidence, she never recanted her support. By smearing Trump supporters as bigots, he hoped to advance his career. And Kamala Harris, of all people, can respect that.
So there he is. There's an example of him mispronouncing the name. And look, here's the thing. She doesn't have a common name. So maybe it was a mistake. Maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt until you see this exchange.
Tucker, can I just say one quick thing, because this is something that will serve you and your fellow hosts on Fox. Her name is pronounced comma, like the punctuation mark "luh," Kamala. Okay. Seriously, I've heard every sort of bastardization.
So what?
That's how it is, Kamala.
Okay.
Well,
but
I think it's out of respect for somebody who's going to be on the national ticket. Pronouncing her name right is actually not. It's kind of a.
So I'm disrespecting her by mispronouncing her name unintentionally. So it begins. You're not allowed to criticize Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris or whatever because Kamala Harris.
Whatever.
Okay, look, I unintentionally mispronounced her name, but I love the idea that she's immune from criticism. So let me restate my question, because on this show, nobody in power is immune from criticism. Our political leaders must be held to account. That's our job.
He's literally the worst person on TV.
Who told Tucker Carlson that you're not allowed to criticize Kamala Harris?
No, that's what they say. They say that constantly about everyone. Because then that makes them the brave one who does it, even though you can't. It's always that you can't be, they're protected people, they can't be criticized, but we're gonna do it anyway. Like that's their whiny, it's their cancel culture thing and all of that you're not allowed to do all of this stuff. What a whiny little baby. He accidentally mispronounced. Okay, maybe you accidentally mispronounced the name of a public figure who's been on the public stage for literally years and you somehow still don't know her name, which is really weird. But then when you're corrected, you freak out like a little baby. The first video you played, do you know the first thing he said in that video about Kamala Harris? He said, in the face of changing evidence, she refused to recant her support. Yeah, it sucks when people learn new things and won't change, doesn't it, Tucker? What a little baby.
Yeah, that's such a great point. Yeah, like the fact, okay, so he tried to make this about, you're not allowed to criticize her. Okay, so were you intentionally mispronouncing her name and that was your way of criticizing her? I don't get it. Mispronouncing her name isn't criticizing her. It's just, look, and I don't think it's that big of a deal when people's names get mispronounced, okay? And I'm mostly saying that because I live in a glass house and I mispronounce people's names on a regular basis. And I don't want people to think that I do it intentionally, to make a statement. Sometimes names are hard. And for a while, I wasn't even sure how to pronounce her name accurately because I'd heard it in so many different ways. But with Tucker Carlson, look, of course he hates Democrats. He doesn't like Kamala Harris. I think that's clear. But I think what the underlying issue in that segment was that someone had the gall to correct him live on air. How dare you? Like, you guys forget, these are people who make millions of dollars a year doing what they do. Like, they're not treated like hosts at TYT, okay? Like they have people driving them around, paid for by the company. They have hair and makeup, people buying their lunch for them. Like they get pampered constantly, and everyone's always like, "Oh yes, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good." And so someone correcting him live on air, it totally challenges his ego, and I think that's really what happened there.
And yeah, he freaked out. And also, I think that there's a strong undercurrent of his fans don't like the idea of having to learn strange names, and so they like him fighting back. And I think he's savvy enough about his racist audience to know that. I don't want to undercut you. I just want to make sure. Do you know what happened a couple of minutes later in those videos you were showing?
John, listen, we have a wonderful producer named Ashwarya, and I have a confession to make. I can't stomach Tucker Carlson videos. I don't want to cut and edit Tucker Carlson videos, so I assigned them to Ashwarya. So I don't know what happened afterwards.
He went back to mispronouncing it. Like minutes later with the same guest.
Of course.
He didn't change, even though it had been specifically pointed out to him. No, but really, like you mentioned the 2017 article about how Ben Shapiro is the cool kids philosopher. He was called an intellectual gladiator in the headline of that.
Yes.
And he spends his days 3 years later freaking out about the idea that women get aroused sexually. He can't comprehend it. Him and his wife have long conversations about how it doesn't make any sense. When they're just pathetic people. Tucker Carlson, he doesn't know someone's name, even though she ran for president for like a year, and he somehow doesn't know the name, which is really weird. It's his whole job is knowing politics. And then when he's corrected, he says, "So what? So what? You can't criticize her?" Wait, he's your thought leader? He's your guy who thinks outside of the box? He's the future of the Republican Party, the right-wing media? He freaks out because he still doesn't know how to pronounce someone's name, and when he's corrected, he can't take it. That's your champion. That's your god on the right. What a pathetic little baby. He should have known it anyway. It's not day one of Buttigieg's campaign and nobody knows how to pronounce it, and it takes a long time. You should have known that a year ago. And he's extending an olive branch to you to tell you how to do it. You could have just been like, "Oh, thank you. I've mispronounced people's names." Yeah. You just learned the new way and you move on, you little baby. Jesus. They look up to these people. They think that they're so smart, critical thinkers. He's different than other right-wing media figures. No, it's the same breakdown that Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham would have had if they'd been corrected.
John, I love it. I love it when you get into like that zone. You just got into it right now, and it was very good.
I can't and it's take people lifting him up and pretending that he's something special in literally any way.
I think most smart people know what Tucker Carlson is all about. And I think it's okay to call him a little bitch. I know that you chose baby, but look, all of these like so-called right-wing alpha males always expose themselves. I see a video like that and I'm like, that does not message strong male to me. It certainly doesn't. So look at that video. God, no rhythm. No, go away. Go away.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.